Is Peter Gregory Obi confused, or is this a type of Tinubu master strategies? Confusion or Tinubu type of master strategy? All Obedients need to be able to answer this question. You too, Peter Obi, you must answer this question. Are you confused, or you have one type of Tinubu's master strategy off your sleeve that we don't know about? If not, how do you explain this? Yesterday, at the African Democratic Congress National Convention, organized by the David Mark-led NWC or David Mark-led ADC, even though that convention was held against court order, we still wait to know what kind of outcome or effect that will have. But then at the convention, journalists asked Peter Obi several questions. But on one particular question, his answer got me confused and scratching my head. Peter Obi was asked, if you don't get the ticket during or after the primaries of ADC, will you support whoever wins or will you leave? Peter Obi could have answered a simple yes. But no, he didn't give a simple yes. He gave a more complex answer. What was the answer? The process has to be free and fair. The process has to be free and fair. It must not be transactional. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And when he was saying it, I was scratching my head. It must not be transactional? Okay, what does that even mean? That is, you mean the voters should not be given dollars? Atiku, Amechi, Kwankwanso, they should not buy votes? They should come and just level playing field? Is that what you mean? That it should not be transactional? In fact, that now reminded me the same thing he said when he went to Arise News on that interview with Charles Anyagolu. Listen, we all need to solve this together once and for all. We need to know if Peter Obi is confused or he has one kind of Tinubu type master strategy, off his sleeve that we don't know. In that interview with Charles, he was asked the same question and his answer was the same. And the process has to be free and fair. The process has to be free and fair. The process is very important. It cannot be transactional politics. Again, that is to say, they must not buy votes. The process must be clean. Here's why I'm confused. He was told that people are accusing him of being a serial political party jumper. In fact, they call him political prostitute. Charles asked him this question on Arise Prime Time. And he said, if he has to jump 20 times, he will do it. Because he wants Nigeria to be free and fair. Now, Peter Obi, here's where I am confused. And I'm thinking and asking myself, are you confused or is this strategy? How can you at this time, you know that it's only 4 days to go before you cannot leave ADC again? You know. And then you are saying the process has to be free and fair. It must not be transactional. Seriously? So you are seriously thinking that an Atiku will not pay anybody to vote for him? Atiku will not go buy votes. Atiku will not go share dollar. Really? Is that your expectation? Because in that same interview with Charles, you insinuated that, them Atiku, them El-Rufai, them Alami, they have changed. That's what you said in that interview. And that now they have come to realize that they must make sacrifice for Nigeria to move forward. That was what you said. And the way you said it as if you know Atiku very well, you know Amechi very well, you know Kwankwanso, you know Tambuwal, you know Malami, you know them very well. El-Rufai, you sounded like, yes, they have really changed. They have come to realize that they need to be born again. They need to sacrifice for Nigeria to move forward. That was what you said. Are you now suggesting that an Atiku will not pay for votes? He will not share dollars to get the ticket? Why do you think that an Atiku is forcing a David Mark as chairman of ADC? Why? Why? Now, if you know, because the way you sounded in that national convention, will I call it interview now or presser? It's like you are beginning to see that the way the PDP primaries was transactional in 2022, that same way it will be transactional in a few weeks' time in the ADC. Why? Because Atiku is involved. If you have not watched Atiku's interview, Peter Obi, go and watch it. He made it clear to you He made it clear to the Obidient. He made it clear to anybody who had any doubt. This was his last attempt. He'll be 80 very soon. This was his last attempt, and he was giving it his all. No stones left unturned. If Atiku was really a changed man, he understands that he needs to make sacrifice. Like you claimed, Peter Obi, in that interview with Charles, Atiku will not bother to contest. But he has made it clear. Before, it has been through tweets, through his aide. But in that interview with Charles on Primetime on Arise, he said it clearly. He is contesting. How do you think that an Atiku will participate in an ADC primaries and he not go share dollars? How? So if you know, you are seeing signs that he's going to share dollars, what are you still doing there? When you know that in 4 days' time, your window of opportunity to leave to another party will be closed forever. You know. What are you still doing there? That's why I'm asking. Because you know, you guys are the politicians or the political actors. Because I don't consider you a politician. You are an administrator, a fantastic one. What Nigeria needs. You guys are the ones who have all the privileged information. So people like us may actually not know. That's why I'm asking. Is it that you are confused about the intention of Atiku? You think Atiku will not spend dollar? Or you are confused that you are beginning to see signs that Atiku will share dollars during ADC primaries? You are confused, you don't know how to leave to another party? If you are confused, I beg, make una help me woos am small, make it come back to his senses. The window of opportunity is closing. You have 4 days to go before it is too late. 4 days. Atiku is not going to play fair with you. Atiku is not going to allow level playing field. Atiku is putting his minions, Atiku is putting his henchmen, Atiku is putting his loyalists to mount critical positions in the African Democratic Congress because he wants ticket. I have said it, a free and fair primaries in the ADC cannot involve any candidates from the north. In fact, must not only be zoned to the south, it must be micro-zoned to the southeast. And this is not a question of just give it to Obi. No. Bring as many candidates as you can from the southeast, but you must zone it to the southeast. African Democratic Congress. If indeed you are for equity and fairness and you have the interest of Nigeria at heart. Peter Obi, snap out of this illusion that you are in, this wonderland that you are in. Atiku has not become born again. They have not changed. The leopard cannot change their skin. The guy is going to share dollar. He's going to buy votes. And there are many people that he has made to register in that ADC that will collect his money and vote him. The big wigs that you are trusting in, the likes of them Tambuwal, the likes of them Kwankwan, so then they will queue behind Atiku. It will shock you. I just don't want it to shock you when it is already too late. So snap out of it. The primaries of ADC is going to be transactional. If you're not okay with it, the time to leave is now. Peter Obi, the ADC is corrupting Peter Obi. This whole alliance, coalition, is corrupting Peter Obi. It is corrupting Peter Obi's records. It is corrupting Peter Obi's character. And we're clapping for the ADC, even defending the ADC as they are doing this. And what will make it extremely painful and disastrous is the fact that they will corrupt Peter Obi's records, most likely in vain, without a ticket, most likely. Should Peter Obi continue to stake, to risk his character, his reputation, in queuing behind and defending a people that are engaging in criminality, breaking the law, in the process of demanding justice? Should he continue to do that? Is that not what the ADC is doing, the African Democratic Congress? Peter Obi is queuing behind, deliberately or non-deliberately, queuing behind a group of people who are breaking the law in the process of demanding for justice. It would have worked and helped if you had somebody like a Jonathan in the presidency. But unfortunately, we don't have a president like Jonathan in Aso Rock. You have Tinubu, who simply doesn't care. He will not waste a second to use the law to fight you. He will not even waste a second to use impunity to fight you. Not to now talk of when he finds legal ground to fight you. That's Tinubu. In the battle, this struggle for the soul of Nigeria, we cannot afford to allow any legal ground that will taint or spoil or jeopardize our chances for victory. And that is what Peter Obi is doing. And every time I watch the news, I observe what is going on, I feel very pained to my heart that I am seeing somebody with an impeccable character, somebody with an impeccable track record, allow himself to be used by the likes of Atiku. Peter Obi is being used. And you know what? He will be dumped by Atiku. Oh God. It's just 3 days to go. Just 3 days before it will be too late to have a good alternative. 3 days. NDC, National Democratic Coalition, has sent an invitation to Peter Obi. That option is there. DLA, Democratic Leadership Alliance, the one that was formed and registered by people who are allies of Peter Obi, is there. Even AAC, Omoyele Sowore, has told Nigerians publicly that we should tell Peter Obi to call him. Has Peter Obi called him? If he has, I'm sure we would have known by now. These options are there, and it's 3 days to go. You know, I was glad when I saw the video that Ayo Fayose did, asking Peter Obi to leave. I saw it. Nobody in their right senses will see the video that Atiku, the interview that Atiku gave, that will not ask Peter Obi to leave. Nobody in their right senses. I have seen the comments. Some of you Obedients are pushing the narrative that, oh, there are some secret deals that should not be in the open. Error, lie. This same excuse was the same excuse they gave in 2022 when we gave advice like this. They would tell us, no, keep quiet. We have a strategy. No, some things that are supposed to be done in secret. Now lie, yo. Oh, now waiting. Now lie. There is nothing about Peter Obi getting a ticket. No deal that should be secret by now. If the people who made that deal are serious, trustworthy, and genuine. So don't come and give me that kind of comment that, oh, don't talk about it, it should be secret. No. Any deal that does not involve zoning the presidential ticket of the African Democratic Congress to the southern part of Nigeria is a fake deal. How many days to deadline for party primaries? May 30. That is the deadline for party primaries. April 21, deadline for submission of membership list. And then you defied a court order. Come on, who does that? You defied a court order to go and hold a convention, when the same court has accepted and granted your request for accelerated hearing of your case. I don't understand how the leadership of the ADC is thinking. I don't. If you have had accelerated hearing for 22, 23 April, why the rush to do a convention April the 15th, April the 16th, or where was it? Why the rush against a court order? Now, you did that convention against the court order. In that convention, which is actually just an affirmation, you could not even decide on the zoning of the presidency to the south. Just a few days to INEC deadline for party primaries. And then you come out and tell me that there is a secret deal. There ain't no secret deal anywhere. These guys are trying to scam Peter Obi, period. And the advisors of Peter Obi, you guys, I don't know. They're trying to scam Peter Obi. Already, Peter Obi is now associated with people who disobey court orders. The same Peter Obi that was always waiting for court orders to decide where to stay while he was in Labour Party. The same Peter Obi that is known to have so much respect for the judiciary. Forget all this talk about, oh, our judiciary is corrupt. Yes, it may be. But there are still good judges. There are still good judges within our judiciary. And people who understand the legal processes, they still win victories. In fact, what am I even saying? The judiciary acknowledged and defended even this same ADC to a large extent before things were reversed by the Court of Appeal. The same Peter Obi now is now being known to be associated, and in fact they got him on camera to say twice, not once, during the interview on Arise News Prime Time, and then during the convention when he gave something like a press conference. Peter Obi is now caught on camera saying, no, despite the court order, our convention must go on. Why the hurry when you already have accelerated hearing for your leadership? Why? All of this is just to taint the credibility of Peter Obi. To what end? All of this one now, you are making Peter Obi to call a cow auntie just because Peter Obi wants to eat meat? No, now. And at the end of the day, after Peter Obi calls the cow auntie, Peter Obi will still not now get meat to eat. That is double jeopardy. And that's why I'm saying this ADC coalition is corrupting Peter Obi's reputation. 3 days to go. Ayofayoshe has lent his voice. It is clear that Peter Obi needs to leave because the conditions precedent to a free and fair primaries in the ADC are just not present. Those conditions are not there. The conditions that we see are an Atiku that is desperate, that sees this as his last chance, last shot at the presidency, and is prepared to bend the rules, bend the party to his will. Those are the signs. That's the vibe. That is why he's forcing his henchmen, his loyalists in position to make sure that they bend the process in his favor. That is why he's making sure, bending every rule possible, to the extent that he could not even obey a court order. You broke the court order. If the case is not settled, whatever decision you make, INEC said they will not accept. So what was the point of that convention? What was the point of that convention? Should we engage in rascality just for the sake of it, when there is no clear benefit of such? It is Peter Obi's reputation that is suffering it. And the painful thing is that time is running out. 3 alternatives are on the table. I have said it before. The best strategy is for Peter Obi to get ticket first on another platform, then come back and discuss this whole, what is it now? Discuss this coalition thing. A DLA would have done their primaries by now. It is possible that an NDC would have done their primaries by now. Since they're a fresh party, they could have done the primaries by now. And if they have done the primaries by now, and Peter Obi has been given the ticket, then Peter Obi will be the candidate of that party. Then you can now use that candidacy ticket and say, okay, let us do coalition with the African Democratic Congress if all is or comes to become well with it. That's a better strategy. 3 days to go, Peter Obi. 3 days. For the sake of Nigerians. I know you don't need it. You're a billionaire in 100 lifetimes with 100 times the hardship that Tinubu is forcing on Nigerians. You and your family, Peter Obi, you will live a good life. So, not for your sake. You can afford not to be desperate to be president of Nigeria, but we cannot afford not to be desperate to have you to become president. Right now, we are desperate. Only 3 days to go. I beg. Ayofayoshe has lent his voice. If others don't, you have the you can single-handedly take or make that decision to go, leave the ADC and get ticket elsewhere. Stop queuing behind people who are breaking the law and claiming they are demanding for justice. You cannot fight wrong with wrong. Or can you? Can you use lie to defeat a lie? Nigerians know that the APC, the Tinubu administration, is a lie. They thrive on propaganda. Can you defeat a lie with another lie? The answer is no. The only thing you need to defeat a lie is the truth. And that is why I cannot queue behind any lie. Whether in the name of a coalition, I cannot queue behind any lie. And if you say, oh, I have been paid to do this, then we are of all men, all citizens, most miserable, because you have been blinded by a lie. Only truth can defeat a lie. Only truth can defeat Tinubu. Only truth can defeat APC. Stop allowing yourself to queue behind people who are telling lies, and then you're claiming you want to defeat another lie. Will it work?
You see, for this talk for 2027, nobody amuse me reach Rotimi Amechi and followers. You see, nobody don't make, I they see these people, they laugh. Rotimi Amechi, I have no problem with him. It's part of the coalition and we must all come together. Every house get backyard, get toilet, get sitting room, get lounge, get communal area, get kitchen, all of that. So everybody is needed to make this work. But you see, the delusion we una take the run that una raise, una calm down. Because I see comments people like say nobody has the experience, Rotimi experience. If we use Rotimi Amechi experience, it no go work. We will just look at like say now fresh new creation. We just realize a mistake of yesterday. Because we can't be talking about this, and I'm not just here to drag, because if I say, because you know why I'm doing this, so I'm doing this video not to drag Rotimi as a person, but to help a cause. Because after looking back at 2023 election in hindsight, I can tell you that one of the problems Atiku had was people that pushed him. All these Dele Momo do them, they didn't know Milaye, when they say go for it, they know they call out to order. Then when he now saw Kowa's money, he don't finish. All Atiku needs to do is to take over primaries. They look for somebody who is going to bring. The last time Atiku will use the money for election, it will be maybe in 2019. And even then, PDP was the biggest party. I purposely they're not the power for 4 years. So the PDP will show that responsibility. Right? In 2023, Okowa money that come to place. And now, it be like saying Amechi money they want to use. Instead of Amechi to calm down. Now Amechi, now he followers. If anybody, I can even respect Atiku based on antecedent, based on crowd, based on capital vote day, no matter it be, as ill-timed as Atiku's journey into the ballot in 2023, he still secure 6 million votes. Ill-timed, I say it. He not supposed that ballot, but he hold 6 million. I don't know what Amechi define. And if you check pecking order, now because Peter Obi say don't big pass to be VP, that's why you see say Amechi even did the scheme of things. Because all this will not talk, cha. Now voice a loud pass. We go they discuss national issues. Amechi and the followers go they flood everywhere, they disturb me. Now one of them even get me, they come in for phone, they say, no, Atiku and Amechi has a which experience, excuse me, young man. SP waiting. Make Amechi calm down. If Peter Obi had accepted, in the pecking order, Amechi wasn't even top 4. Peter Obi refused. Say Donald Duke even accept. And him then blessed don't go APC as it were. So Amechi na second thoughts. Say why you were? I will do and make come. Not be say when I call the be like say the thing called the Shakuna. As I talk to you now, let's be realistic. An Atiku and Rotimi ticket will not fly in Nigeria today. Except say Kwankwaso, El-Rufai, Tambuwa, Peter Obi come accept to say they want swallow and say okay, me they let them go. That is the only way that ticket can produce vote. Anything will make Peter Obi and Kwankwaso they ballot and Atiku and Amechi force their way say they must they ballot. It don't finish. And it will be a dishonor for Atiku to do his final election. It be like say he go carry distant third. Because that's what Tinubu tried to do, to disrespect Peter Obi. That's why they rig out to third. You know, even rig out to second, all of the vote on a court now carry and go third, so that in case go dey water, so you go dampen the spirit. But everybody know, even your people know, say, nah. And now, what I'm realizing is that guess who are the people campaigning or speaking the news? Go check comment section. APC people, anybody but Obi. They will support Showore in the morning, support Amechi in the afternoon, support Atiku in the evening, support what they call the guy Bala Gombe, the unfortunate moron we say na be deputy national chairman of ADC, where they say they give a party structure. That is anybody, anything against Peter Obi na day. Anybody. Now so they put Lamidi Papa for head at a time. So now that will be my problem. If everybody they talk, though where when the Mosekian let the wood and now Mechibi. Look for a do person be interpret. When the Mosekian let the robot in. They do the pursue 5 people. Pick say they almost catch me. They almost come over road and they pursue you. Come over there. I mean, you get out of this place. When another they talk better thing, let's discuss national politics. And Amechi go see they bring here come and say, it not be coalition we gather they say more really ignore, but na they beg with Sarah Rotier. Amechi, I feel go let Tinubu pass Amechi. Oh, may Amechi calm down. I swear to God, I feel we go value Tinubu pass Amechi. Who be Amechi? Can Amechi destroy the system? Not be Amechi where we can put for pocket for Rivers State. After being speaker for years, do governor, see the way Rivers State be. All the talk system. For all years, if Fubara dey your camp, you get what you use and they do all of this. When you know in the APC, when Fubara was collecting all of those things, you know, go hold the guy, support and later you look. I beg. Man, you are too finna test him. See, Amechi's book, I want to read them so that how not to be an Amechi in Nigerian politics.